Imagine a ceremony that every year gathers 20 million pilgrims from all walks of life in one place. A ceremony that every year inspires over 15 million pilgrims to walk 80 kilometers in the searing, dry desert heat without a proper place to sleep or clean food to eat, all to reach the shrine of a person who died over 1,300 years ago. This ceremony is called Arbaeen, and this place is Karbala, Iraq. So who is this person that inspires such devotion? This person that incites such passion in the hearts of millions that even more than a millennium after his death, they undertake this arduous journey, some even every year? The person they've come here to pay tribute to is Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. Hussein was martyred here in Karbala in the year 680 AD. He and a small army of 72 men, if you can even call that an army, stood up against the army of Yazid, the cruel and newly crowned caliph at the time, and refused to pledge allegiance to his crown. I heard a lot about the pilgrimage, but I had to see it for myself. So this year I took part, walking from the town of Najaf to Karbala, a total distance of about 80 kilometers. And what I saw was truly confounding. Millions of people from numerous countries, young and old, able and disabled, all bearing the harsh heat and incredibly polluted air to walk over 20 to 25 kilometers a day for at least 3 days, only to sleep on the floor. The truth is, there's been so much development that you won't walk more than 20 kilometers without passing some kind of mosque or house that is giving some kind of food, beverage, or service to pilgrims. Along the way, you get to some places that really resemble a convention center. There are various stands with services such as sewing machines, dentistry, massages, and even shoe shining. As for the walk, there's something quite unique about being part of such a diverse crowd. People of all ages, ethnicities, nationalities, some barefooted, some in wheelchair, some limping, all walking the 80-kilometer journey to Karbala. I think the most amazing and also fun thing about the walk is the sheer quantity and variety of food we come across. All along the way, there are stand after stands that are offering you something to eat and drink. You literally can drink and you can eat all you want. The quality of the food varies, of course. We have small family-run stands that offer a humble serving of rice and beans or falafel, but also massive facilities that give doner kebab. Yep, you heard it right. Free doner kebab. All throughout the day, you can see volunteers preparing massive quantities of food. Falafels, fresh bread, huge tanks of fresh juice, massive pots of chicken and rice, endless tea, you name it, it's there. The one thing I will say though, is eat at your own risk. The food is anything but hygienic. I pride myself on being able to eat literally anything and not get sick, and yet I got sick twice there in 3 days. So where does all this food come from? Well, a lot of it comes from benevolent Iraqis who save up to 50% of their annual income to spend on pilgrims. One man I spoke to said he was spending $3,000 that year. Some of the fancier stuff, though, is sponsored by Iran. The Iranian regime spends tremendous amounts of money to sponsor the event. This is for the purpose of drawing larger crowds and to show off the unity and might of Shias to the world, especially to Saudi Arabia. دیشب نفر شب پیرمرده بود. Okay, so food. So how do you get food around here? Well, let me show you guys. See, around lunchtime you'll see various mukibs or some mosques giving out food. It's usually a free-for-all, but this one is more civilized and actually has a line, or a queue as my British friends would say. So it's pretty simple. You see a crowd congregating somewhere, and it's most definitely going to be because they're giving out free food. You go, you line up, sometimes you have to push, don't be afraid to push, and there you go, just like that, I have food. Alright, time for water. See, all along the way there are these massive tubs filled with ice cold water and massive chunks of ice that they deliver every day. And I kid you not, you don't go more than 50 meters without coming across one of these tubs. After 3 days of exhausting walking, at last I arrived at the shrine of Hussein. Visiting the shrine the night before Arbaeen is an incredibly unique experience. It is as though time does not pass. The courtyard of the shrine is an endless sea of pilgrims who have traveled for days, some for weeks via bus, enduring hardships and sleeping on the streets even, to get here, to pay tribute to their Imam. Some of these pilgrims even sleep here, on the floor of the courtyard. The crowd simply never abates. Time seems to stand still, a reverie that is only interrupted by the first rays of dusk. And yet, there is a not-so-spiritual part of the ceremony. Yep, that sounds like a concert to me too. See, for the past decades, poets have written and sung eulogies commemorating the heroic martyrdom of Hussein and his comrades. But these days in Iran, as the ceremony has become more and more popular, the eulogies have become, well, more akin to pop music, but frankly, you can judge for yourself. But despite all this, and all the superstition along the way that I will not go into, the ceremony still embodies passion and devotion in their purest form. It takes something special to inspire this crowd, to inspire this type of emotions and this type of benevolence. And that is something that no politics can taint.